This video is sponsored by Whatnot. Sign up with my link for a free $15 credit, and make sure to bookmark our upcoming giveaway stream on March 2nd. Stick around till the end of the video for more details. Hey guys, Nintendrew here. Once again, it is time for the latest entry in our Rarest Games series, where we uncover some of the most sought after and elusive titles in gaming. And today I'm actually stepping out of my Nintendo comfort zone a little bit because this video is all about the Sega Genesis. So join me as we take a look back at the top 5 rarest Genesis games. Let's get to it. Alright, just before we dive in with the first title, as usual I'm going to lay down a couple of ground rules. For this list, we're not considering any special or limited edition releases of games which are otherwise available for cheap, and each title must have been officially licensed by Sega and released on store shelves. Additionally, each price point mentioned is based on the current market value of a loose NTSC cartridge, so we're only considering North American releases for this video. And with all that out of the way, first up at spot number 5 is Grindstormer. Originally an arcade title by developer Toaplan, released in 1993, Tengen was tasked with bringing this vertically scrolling shooter to the home console space about a year later. The Sega Genesis release of Grindstormer includes both the Japanese and North American versions of the arcade classic, albeit with some simplified visuals and a scaled-back soundtrack. All in all, it's a competent action title with some truly frantic gameplay, and has been cited as one of the earliest examples of what has since become known as the bullet hell genre. Certainly in some part due to its historic significance, Grindstormer is currently valued on the second-hand market at around $125. Another potential explanation for this inflated value is a high prevalence of faulty game cartridges, which is apparently a common story with some Tengen releases on the platform. So if you come across one in the wild, be careful because it could be defective. But if you happen to come across a working copy of Grindstormer for cheap, make sure you don't pass it up. Next up at number 4 is Zero the Kamakazi Squirrel. Judging by the game's box art, you'd be forgiven for thinking this could be some form of Conker from an alternate dimension, even down to its mature rating. But in reality, Zero the Kamakazi Squirrel is a spin-off of the Arrow the Acrobat series, published by Sunsoft and featuring Arrow's rival. Interestingly, although Arrow is featured on the Sunsoft logo as seen when booting up the cartridge, he doesn't appear anywhere else in the game. The titular character Zero is, of course, a reference to Japanese World War II fighter pilots and wears a rising sun headband while practicing karate moves. But questionable theming aside, it is a cool little platformer with some decently impressive visuals. Today, Zero the Kamakazi Squirrel sells for around $140 on the used market. Now, because this game did also see release for the Super Nintendo, I'd like to tell you to try that version if you're curious to check it out. But as luck would have it, its Nintendo counterpart is even pricier. Both versions are fairly comparable in gameplay though, so for the two hardcore Arrow the Acrobat fans out there, if you really need to play Zero on original hardware, this might actually be one of the more approachable ways to do so. Coming in at number 3 is Musha. Musha is the second vertically scrolling shooter on our list and was released for Sega Genesis by publisher Seismic in 1991. The game is set in the year 2290 and tasks players with taking down a nefarious artificial superintelligence that has launched an assault on Earth from space. Fun fact, Musha means warrior in Japanese. As indicated on the title screen, in this case it also stands for Metallic Uniframe Super Hybrid Armor. And as someone with a video game that has an acronym for its title and robotic protagonist myself, I've gotta respect it. This game was the 4th entry in the Alest series, also known outside of Japan as Power Strike, and has consistently held its value while continuing to climb in recent years. Now, a loose copy of Musha can set you back upwards of $300. Thankfully, if you just want to play the game, you don't have to shell out triple Benjis. The game saw a port for Wii Virtual Console, and more recently came to Nintendo Switch Online for expansion pass holders. So if you want to check it out on the cheap in 2024, you still have some options. Moving right along, at spot number 2 we have Crusader of Centi. Wait, hold on. An Atlas game? On a top 5 rarest list? They said it couldn't be done! Yes, it's another classic 90s era Atlas RPG with an incredibly low print run. Who'd have thought? The story follows Corona, a 14-year-old boy, on his quest to vanquish an army of monsters and prevent the end of the world. The twist? He's lost his ability to talk to humans, but gained the ability to talk to animals, kinda like Dr. Dolittle meets Zelda. Throughout the game, you'll meet a cast of helpful animal friends that will help you unlock new areas and progress the story. It's a cute little adventure with an inversely uncute price tag. Recently, loose copies of Crusader of Centi have been sold at prices in excess of $425. While some of the games on this list have been pricey for a while, this title in particular saw a massive burst in value during the pandemic-era collecting boom, but has since been on a slow downtrend for about a year or so. At its peak in September of 2022, Crusader of Centi was valued at over $700. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so used to seeing these retro game values explode over time that it does my heart good to see a bit of market correction. And finally, at spot number 1, the rarest game for Sega Genesis is Outback Joey. Okay, so it might seem like a stretch to include this game, but since it was sold at retail and officially licensed by Sega, it is technically eligible. Long before the likes of Ring Fit Adventure on Nintendo Switch or Cyberbike Cycling Sports on Wii, Outback Joey Personal Trainer graced the homes of tens of Genesis owners in the fall of 1993. The software was a pack-in title alongside the Heartbeat Catalyst, a body-mounted fitness peripheral with heart rate and motion sensors. The only other way you could purchase Outback Joey was with the Heartbeat Personal Trainer, a custom fitness-themed Genesis console bundle that included the software and the aforementioned peripheral. Within the game, you would set your ideal heart rate range and the length of your exercise session, then grab these wonky controllers, hop on your exercise equipment of choice, and get to work. Based on the rumored production numbers of those particular pieces of hardware, it has been suggested that as few as around 1,000 copies may have been produced. As a result, a loose copy of Outback Joey is currently valued at over $7,000. The game controls like a standard platformer for the most part, but if your heart rate wanders above or below your target range, Joey will become exhausted and make the game unplayable. Oh, and if you don't completely finish the game before time's up, it just kicks you back to the start. Maybe Outback Joey was just a roguelike ahead of its time, I don't know. Thankfully for Genesis fans, in this case, because it was exclusively a fitness title, you're not missing much. And even if you forked over the cash for a loose cartridge, it won't work unless you also hunt down the Heartbeat Catalyst. So this one's most likely best left for emulation and the most hardcore of collectors. Alright, that's gonna do it for the top 5 rarest Genesis games. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I really hope you enjoyed. But before you go, I want to let you all know in just a couple of weeks, I'm hosting another giveaway over on Whatnot. For those who don't know, Whatnot is a combination live streaming and shopping app where you can see the exact items you're purchasing or bidding on in real time. Kind of like Twitch meets eBay. But as usual, you won't have to spend a penny on my show because we're going to be giving away lots of cool gaming memorabilia, absolutely free. And even if you don't win anything, you'll still get a $15 credit for use on my channel or anybody else's just for signing in. Here's how. Follow my link in the pinned comment below to sign up for an account and download the Whatnot app. Once it's installed, head over to the search bar and type in Nintendrew, and you should see my channel pop up. Drop me a follow while you're here, then click on the Shows tab to bookmark the upcoming giveaway. That way you'll be notified when we go live. Thanks again to Whatnot for sponsoring this episode, and as always, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please do consider subscribing to Nintendrew for all sorts of cool gaming content, and otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye!